Okay, I know most of you use matrix, the idea of matrices to solve these systems of three equations. Unfortunately, on this one, we have to find a mistake in what the student did. So here we go. All right, what I want you to see is that this top equation is right here, and then the next equation, so basically we've got these first two equations, right? Okay, so he's just using elimination. He's adding them together. Do you see how the 4's go away here? So then you're left with negative 8x minus z equals 9. Okay, so that's good. Well, now let's look for the next. Let's look over here at step 2. Step 2, it looks as if he's using these, the second and third equation. Well, that should work just fine, right? Okay, he's using elimination again, but this time he's making the negative x's go away. So here we have an x and a z. Here we have a y and a z. Normally what we would do at this stage of the game is we would use these two equations to solve for the variables. But we can't because we still have we have an x and a z here, and we have a y and a z here. So what we really need is an x and a z here as well. So we have to manipulate this equation, this set of equations, so that we can get rid of the y's and leave the x's in here. So that's what we're going to do, and they've got it all set up here. So that's what I'm gonna use here. Okay, so we're trying to get rid of the y's. If we're trying to get rid of the y's, that means we have to multiply everything right here by 4. Okay, well, that shouldn't be too traumatic for anybody. And actually what I'm gonna do is when I'm multiplying it by 4, I'm just gonna rewrite it right up here above this. Okay, so that's gonna give me negative 4x. This is gonna give me positive 4y. And then this is gonna give me negative 4z, right? And then this is going to give me negative 12. Okay, let me double check, make sure I'm doing all this right. I think I did that okay. Okay, so now, well, this is going to have to go away because this was a problem. This never works. So right now, I've just rewritten this equation right here to help us eliminate. So what we're doing now is adding these two together. So when I add these two together, I get negative 3x. Do you see how my 4's go, my 4y's go away? And then I get negative 10z, and I get, what's 25 minus 12? I think 13. Okay? So now I have a statement that says negative 3x minus 10z equals 13. Well, look, I have an x and a z here, and an x and a z here, so we're good to go. I'm actually just gonna bring this thing over here, set it right underneath here to save a little bit of time. We've got negative 3x. Here we have negative 10z equals 13. Now we can use substitution or elimination. Actually, I think I'm going to use elimination because that's a little bit easier. I'm just going to rearrange this guy because I can just rearrange this to say I'm going to bring the z over here and then bring the z over here and the 9 over here. Okay, so that's going to give me negative 8x minus 9 equals z. Yeah, see, that's pretty easy. Then I can just plug that in right there. This thing, I'm thinking I'll just bring that right down there. So now I have negative 3x. I'm using substitution. That's what you guys did on your last test. You had to use substitution. So negative 3x minus 10 times the quantity, negative 8x minus 9, close up the parentheses, equals 13. Okay. So then we've got, well, let's just do this slow. Negative 3x plus 80x plus 90 equals 13. Bring the 90 over here. That should give me, I'm thinking, negative 77. Yeah, negative 77. And then here, we add these two together. We get, what do you know? You see it falling out, guys? 77x. X is equal to negative 1. Well, once you know that x is equal to negative 1, then the rest is pretty easy. Okay, so if we know x is equal to negative 1, we can plug a negative 1 in here. So that gives us negative 8 times negative 1 minus 9. That's going to spit out z at us. So that's going to give us positive 8. Z is negative 1 too. What do you know? Okay, well, let's find out what y is yet. So I guess maybe I'll just plug that in right here. Okay, so negative, and then x is negative 1, and then we don't know what y is, so we'll just write down plus y minus z is also negative 1. You see I'm just substituting? And you should be very proud of me because I'm not doing this in my head. I'm not going to make mistakes because with all this negative stuff going on, the odds of me making a mistake are very high. Okay, so this is plus 1, this is plus 1, that makes plus 2. So we have y plus 2 is equal to negative 3. Bring the negative 2 over here. Now we can see that y is equal to negative 5. Okay, so we've got x, negative 1, y, negative 5, and z, negative 1. That was not so painful. I hope you stuck with it.